Title: Office versus Retail versus Industrial. Which CRE asset class actually wins? Commercial real estate isn't one thing. It's actually several completely different businesses that happen to share the same basic structure. Someone owns a building, someone else pays to use it. The four main asset classes are office, retail, industrial, and multifamily. Each has its own economics, its own risks, and in 2026, its own very different trajectory. In this video, I'm going to break down how each one works and which asset class is actually performing right now. Let's start with office. Office is the asset class that's been through the most disruption over the past few years, and it's not done yet. The shift to remote and hybrid work has fundamentally changed how much office space companies need. The result: vacancy rates in major markets are at historic highs. Downtown San Francisco office vacancy is above 30%. Cities that were once the most coveted office markets in the country are sitting on a glut of empty space. But the story isn't uniform. There's a huge divide between Class A and Class B office. Class A, newer, well-located, amenity-rich buildings, is holding up reasonably well. Companies that are bringing people back to the office want the best space. They're consolidating from 5 floors to 2, but they want the 2 floors to be great. Class B and C office, older, dated, less desirable, is in serious trouble. Many of these buildings are being converted to apartments or are simply facing obsolescence. For investors, office requires more selectivity than ever. Location, tenant credit quality, and lease term matter more than they did 5 years ago. Now retail. Retail took enormous heat during the rise of e-commerce and got absolutely crushed during the pandemic. Everyone assumed it was dying. What actually happened is more interesting. Experiential retail, restaurants, fitness, entertainment, medical, is thriving. You can't get a haircut from Amazon. You can't order Pilates class to your doorstep. These uses have filled vacancies and driven a resurgence in well-located retail. What is struggling? Big box retail, department stores, and anything competing directly with e-commerce on commodity products. The best retail assets in 2026 are grocery-anchored shopping centers, the strip malls with a strong supermarket as the anchor tenant, surrounded by service-oriented tenants. People still buy groceries in person, and they run errands while they're there. Vacancy rates in well-run grocery-anchored centers have been near historic lows. Now industrial, and this is where the story gets exciting. Industrial is the best-performing major asset class in commercial real estate over the past decade, and there's a strong argument it's still the best place to be. The reason is e-commerce. Every online order you've ever placed, the warehouse it shipped from, the last-mile facility that loaded it onto the delivery truck, the logistics hub in between, that's all industrial real estate. Vacancy rates in industrial have been at record lows in most markets. Rent growth has been extraordinary in certain submarkets. Developers have been building as fast as they can and in some markets still can't keep up with demand. The new story in industrial is data centers. The explosion in AI infrastructure has created massive demand for a specific type of industrial real estate, buildings with enormous power capacity, redundant cooling systems, and specific electrical infrastructure. This is the fastest growing and highest value corner of the industrial market right now, and it's reshaping where developers want to build. Finally, multifamily. Multifamily apartment buildings straddles the line between commercial and residential. It operates on commercial real estate fundamentals, but the tenants are individuals, not businesses. Multifamily has been a favored institutional asset class because housing demand is structural. People always need places to live. In markets with job growth and housing supply constraints, rents rise steadily. The challenge in 2026 is that a wave of new apartment supply built during the construction boom of 2021 to 2023 has hit the market simultaneously, pushing vacancy up and rent growth down in many Sun Belt markets. Markets like Austin and Charlotte are working through this oversupply. Here's the one sentence to remember: industrial and select retail are outperforming in 2026. Office requires careful selection. Multifamily is navigating a supply cycle. Each asset class has its own dynamics, and knowing which you're in changes everything about how you underwrite a deal. Subscribe and I'll see you in the next one.